If we go into a little bit more detail on the set of case studies that we investigated, one of the things that we found was that some of the biggest impacts were on some of the most kind of, we call it the kind of the bread and butter, or some of the traditional areas where we have been investing in research in a long time. So crop breeding, crop improvement, particularly on major staple foods, is a pretty good bet when it comes to where do you put your research dollars, because we consistently see this is a high payoff area. Crops that, things like sorghum and millet that tend to be grown in very marginal areas, it's possible to get big returns by making these steady improvements in genetic material that farmers can get access to. Another area where there's been tremendous success is in crop protection, particularly for biological control and integrated pest management. Now, in the United States, we've been able to bring many of the agricultural pests under control through use of chemicals and genetic resistant material. Many farmers in developing countries don't have access to that, to those kinds of technologies. So this is one area where if you can develop something that's really appropriate and can be used in those countries, you can get big impacts, because there's a lot of losses that are taking place still from pests and diseases. And so, for example, there's a really nice example of a research that was done in India with one of the Feed the Future labs, that there was a pest there called the mealybug that was having devastating losses on both fruits and some staple foods like cassava. One of the research projects that was being led by the Innovation Lab in integrated pest management was able to identify a natural predator of that pest and introduce it into India and bring it under control. Didn't take a drop of pesticide to do it, and farmers didn't even have to, do anything, because it was released, mass released, this predator, and it naturally was able to sustain itself and sort of reestablish a biological equilibrium between these two pests, this pest and this predator. And that generated, I think, over $1 billion of benefits, just that one project alone.